Alright, hi Tumblr, this is Todd, and figured it was Thursday, so somebody better start the vlog for this week. Anyways, I'm kind of busy today, so I'm going to talk to you while I'm cooking brunch, I guess. Anyways, in case you're wondering, today we're having quesadillas, just like my abuelita used to make. But, so our themes this week are what makes you you, essentially, and talking about the DC reboot. Let's put this out there now. I'm getting really kind of sick about the whole DC reboot thing. And it's not that I'm like against it or for it. For me, it's just kind of another thing that's gonna happen, and it's not a surprise for me. I'll put it that way. DC's done it before. I always kind of figured that at some point they would do it again. Yeah, okay, there are parts that I'm worried about. For one thing, I'm worried about my boy Jay. But I mean, there's a lot of things to be excited about. DC is usually, sometimes they'll be the first to admit that they haven't done everything right, and I really think that they're going to use this reboot as a way to kind of like smooth out the creases, so to speak. I know a lot of you people probably disagree with me and are like, no, DC's going to fuck everything up. But, just gonna have to wait and see, guys. Anyways, so that is me on the reboot. If that's all you wanted to watch this for, then you can stop now, because the rest of this is going to be personal talk, I suppose. Okay, so the other thing was, what makes us us? What makes me me? Okay. First of all, as most of you know, as all of you should know, I'm trans. I've been out since January 2010. I'm 2 weeks away from, actually I'm 1 week away from my 6-month maniversary on testosterone. So I'm pretty excited about that. Let's see, I guess a lot of what makes me me is my culture. My mother is Spaniard, Mexican, and a little French, and my father is Germanic, Scotch-Irish, and a little bit Native American. My dad was an orphan. I said that in my last video. So we didn't really do much with his family. We are in contact with a lot of his siblings, but they don't really talk to each other. In fact, none of them really do. So I'm really much closer, and I was raised around the Hispanic side of my family, which last names encompass. My mother's maiden name was Munoz. My grandmother's maiden name is Chavez. We are also related to the Villarreals, and I think the French last name is Montserrat, which was a blue blood name. But anyways, so I'm really, it's kind of weird. It's a weird give and take with families, because with the Hispanic side of my family, we all talk to each other a lot and we're really close, but everybody kind of hates each other. And with the white side of my family, almost nobody ever really talks to each other, but they get along a lot better. And I've noticed that with Stephanie's family too, because she is just white, and her family is really, again, they don't really talk to each other much, but they seem to like each other a lot more. Whereas with my family, everybody talks to each other about everything, and sometimes that includes about everybody else. But anyways, I guess the other thing that makes me is my work. I'm a very work-devoted person. When I don't have a job, I have to find something to do or else I'm just going to go insane. I've been working since I was 12. My mother owned a store at the mall, and I helped her out there. Before that, actually after that, she got a casting company. Well, she had a casting company when I was about 10, and then she got the store, and then she opened a production company called KDDMINC. That's Kaufman Design Development and Marketing. And I worked with her on that until I was about, until I was about 17. We did casting and a lot of production work for Univision, the Spanish TV station. We used to do casting in Texas for shows like Que Dice La Gente, Váyase Latina, La Cara, Gigantes de Mañana. We did a whole lot of random, yeah. It was fun. We got to travel around a lot. One of the shows that we did was basically like a Spanish American Idol, and we had to find singers in Spanish. So before I was even 18, we were doing a lot of bar hopping, and that was pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie. We had some good times. Since then, I worked at TRF, at the Texas Renaissance Festival, for the past 4 years. I actually quit in December last year because it was too far, and I don't know, I just wasn't really driving with the company anymore, but I will never regret those years. I'm actually wearing my shirt right now. This is for 2009. There you go. It says, "This is why I work here." We have a quote every year that goes on the shirt. That was the one that was said most that year. On the back, there's our logo. Should have the year on it. And this is also the one that first got the first For Glory patch. Yeah, we're a pretty egotistical bunch. But I like to think that we had a right to be. We were always the first ones up and the last ones to leave. And by first ones up, I mean that we were getting up at like 5 in the morning. It was just insanity. I mean, you know, you're around that kettle for 14 hours a day, and it's hot, and it's Texas, and it may be in October, but October in Texas doesn't mean a whole lot until like later October. So, anyways, if you ever meet me in person sometime, ask to see my scars, and I'll show you all my kettle corn scars. I averaged like 10 a year or something like that. But I mean, it was a fun group. I really have no regrets about it. In fact, I really miss them a lot. Like, a lot. I know on Tumblr you see me like chilling out with the Bat Family all the time. They were pretty much my Bat Fam before I had a Bat Fam. They were my Renaissance fam. My champions. Anyways, now I'm working at a Tea of Honor. It's a tea shop, if you haven't heard of it. I like it. It's alright, but I really miss the long hours, and I miss the partying afterwards. And retail is really not something, it's not something anybody ever wants to be in. It sucks you in, and people who end up making careers in retail are probably there because they have been completely sucked in, and take pity on them. Congratulate them, and then take pity on them. But, let's see what else makes me mean. I have an amazing girlfriend. Her name is Stephanie. We've been together for 2.5 years. Yeah, 2.5. We are madly in love. We were together before I started transitioning, and she has just been the most supportive person I think I ever could have asked for. She did identify as lesbian before I transitioned, so I was really worried when I first told her. I thought that we were gonna like break up because she wasn't gonna want to be with a guy, and actually she seemed to kind of know before I did. I told her, and she was like, "Oh, okay, so it's Todd and male pronouns." And I was like, "Yeah." And I told her that online while she was in Arkansas. And the next time I saw her, which was about a month and a half later, she had completely switched over to calling me Todd. And she's been using male pronouns ever since. I think she slipped up twice, and she apologized profusely each time. She's just amazing. I don't think I would have been able to do half of what I have done without her. She's that kind of person that you meet and you fall in love with, and you want to be a better person for her. Anyways, I guess that's pretty much it. I'm sure I've bored you profusely for the last 10 minutes. And I'm also now done with my quesadillas. I'm probably going to make one more for dinner later tonight. And if you have any questions about anything, feel free to pop them in my Ask Box, the BatFam Ask Box. Let us know, because we didn't have a question of the week this week. But if there's anything that you want any of us to address, or all of us to address, or whatever, just let us know. And I'll see you guys next week.